So, okay, so hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm Sherri Mraz, the Cooking Yogi, and today my guest is Karen Pattock from KarenPattock.com. And Karen is an international business coach, and many of you, I am sure, have seen her online and with her fabulous programs. I actually took a program, well, I've taken a few trainings, I believe, with you, Karen.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, Karen actually even was my mentor. So we've got a pretty long history here, and one I'm really happy to have the relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to, Karen, I introduced you. I'm going to let you just take it over, share your screen, and she's going to take us through a training, and we're going to end up, hopefully, I guess, by like quarter of or something like that. So we have time, and everyone, I'll unmute you all, and everybody's going to have time to ask any questions you want, and this is your time. We're going to treat it like a conversation, but we're getting the benefit of having this live training. So, Karen, take it away.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. Karen Pattock, thank you so much for having me, allowing me to join you in your homes. So, Sherri's right. Today we're going to do a training, and this is an actual training I pulled from my Step Into More Profits program. It's probably the training, the module that gets the most ahas. And so when Sherri asked me to come on, I thought, what can I do here that's going to help you connect the dots? Because that's what I'm all about. And this training is the one that connects the most dots in the program. So I'm going to click on, Sherri told me how to share my screen. Sherri, you can let me know that you can see it once I get it going on here.
Karen, I'm sorry, let me just interrupt 1 second, and then I'm actually going to mute myself as well. If anybody has anything that you want, because I'm going to let Karen just keep going, but if you want to, on the very bottom of your screen on this box, you're going to see a chat box. So if you click it, you can ask a question or put in any of your information if you want. It's a place for everyone to share, just so you know that that's available. Okay.
So you can see the screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So today we're going to talk about your product sales funnel and your email marketing funnel. Not only what they are, but how they work in conjunction with one another. And really, guys, this is the place where I feel the most disconnect for people in their business. This is really the part of the puzzle that causes the most overwhelm. All the technology, all that stuff that's coming at you, there's always new bells and whistles. But this is really the core of what your business is based on. And it comes from the perspective of putting a system in place that's automated. And so that word automated is what's so cool about what we're going to cover today. So it's going to definitely help you connect some dots. It's going to help you think about your business big picture and how you can funnel someone from a free offer all the way through your programs or products or services, and how you can do that really with the magic of automation. So today's agenda, like I said, we're going to talk about the product sales funnel. We're going to talk about the email marketing funnel and how to plan out your profit path. Okay? So the product sales funnel is specifically the process or funnel a new lead goes through once subscribing to your email list. So it's the journey they're going to go through, starting with your free offer and ending with becoming a paying client. So if you think about the shape of a funnel, right? This is the funnel. The most people will be at the top of your funnel because not everyone's going to flow through to purchase from you, and they don't need to. For you to be successful, you don't need every single person to become a paying client. And some people want to be paying clients now, and some people kind of just want to hang around and see what you have and see what you're about. and they want to become your paying clients later. So if you think of the top of your sales funnel being your free offers, free offer to start, one, but free offers in the future, more than one. This is where you attract people and you get them on your email list. So think of social media and anything you do, whether it be a guest blog post or something like this where you're asked to be on, you know, a talk for someone else. These are all ways to drive traffic to get people on your list. And what happens after they're on your list is you have control over nurturing that relationship, growing that relationship, and really establishing your authority and your expertise. So when you think of social media as a way to sell your products, that's really coming at it the wrong way. And that's why so many people are so frustrated with social media, because they're not using it as a tool to drive people to their list, the thing that you own. They're just thinking of it as a way to sell programs, products, and services. And if you make that shift and think of social media as the marketing tool and not the marketing goal, things get a lot simpler. So think of it as a way to spread your message, but you want to always bring people back to your email list. And that starts with your free offers. Once they join your email list, then the way this is set up, this magic sauce that we're going to talk about today, falls into what is an autoresponder series. And we're going to get into that in a little bit deeper explanation in a bit. But really what that means is it's a predetermined, pre-written set of emails that you program into a Weber or Constant Contact or MailChimp, something like that, that you can then send out over a course of time, a period of time, that leads them to, or leads your new lead to, your low priced product, which would be anything typically up to $97. So there's so many people that just want to meet someone or get a contact or get a connection. And truthfully, this is the way I was trained at IIN. And they want to sell their big package. Like IIN taught us to sell our big coaching package. Well, you've heard this analogy, but that's like asking someone to go on a date, and then when you're on the date, you're asking them to marry you. It's like, okay, people are going to be scared of that. They're not going to, most of the time, without getting to know you, they're not going to invest those big dollars with you unless they've had a chance to dip their toe in the water with you and get a feel for what you're about. And that starts with a low price program, product, or service. Once they go through that, then you can move them into a medium priced program, somewhere between $97 and $497. And then from there, even into a high price program, so $497 and up, which for many of you that are IIN grads or going to IIN now, you know how that works, right? That would be your high priced coaching program. So if you think about how this all flows together, you can see why it would be so much easier for someone to invest with you and invest in their future and their solution that they're looking for if they don't have the pressure of immediately shelling out $1,000 or $1,500. It's kind of like that take it or leave it scenario. And then where do you go from there? But if you start with your free offer and nurture that relationship slowly, and then they're buying products along the way, you are allowing them to get to know you. Not only that, but you're also raising the lifetime value of that customer. Because if you just immediately take them to a high priced product, then they're done. Once they get through that high priced product, they're done. But if you start with a low and then a medium and then a high, their value suddenly as a customer of yours has been raised substantially. So let's talk about this product sales funnel, right? So this product sales funnel is all about packaging your programs, products, and services, right? The more one-on-one time they get with you, the more it costs. And that's what I was showing you, right? So like that low price program, product, or service probably is like a DIY, a do-it-yourself program. There's really no contact or one-on-one time with you. But once they get to that high-priced product, it's going to be more one-on-one time with you or small group time with you so that they're getting your attention, your feedback, your expertise. And that's why they're paying more money. So you can break down your larger program. So I'm going to help you figure this out, because a lot of people get frustrated with, okay, how do I even create all these programs? Take that big program that you have, that high-priced program, and break it down, right, into smaller pieces, right? You can break it down into smaller programs. You can break it into your free offers. Just don't get bogged down, right, with creating or trying to create new programs. You want them to be aligned anyway. You want each step that someone takes with you to build on the step before. You don't want it to be a total disconnect or a whole brand new topic. You've got the needs of your ideal clients, and if you have a free offer and then a low price and a medium price and a high price product that builds on not only their time with you, but teaching them something in addition to what they've already learned from you, then it's so much simpler for you, and you don't have to pull your hair out trying to figure out what's new, what can I create, how do I create it, what should be included, how do I make it valuable enough to ask that kind of money for it, when really all you do is just take so much of the same information and repeat it, reiterate it, and then add the next step, the next piece of the puzzle to the solution that they need. So step one, your free offers. I wanted to give you kind of like some information or background on how this looks. So this is really where the highest number or the most people will be at any given time in your funnel. So when you look at your email list, your whole list, that's really your funnel. Every person on your list will be somewhere in your funnel, okay? And then this is where your new leads are introduced. So you want your free offer to have huge value, okay? And it's always a good idea to have a variety of free offers. Now, I want you to think about your free offer as a way to solve a teeny tiny pain point of your ideal client with a teeny tiny solution. Okay, you don't have to give them a big ebook. You don't have to give them a big, flashy, program as a free offer. It's so much more important to give them something small, something easy that they can implement, that they will quickly see a result. Now, when you're looking for an answer, right, to something that's driving you crazy, and you go and you get a teeny tiny, easy to implement response, and that response, when you implement it, actually works, what's the next question you ask yourself? You say, how do I get more? Or what's the next step? And that's the question you want the people that just joined your email list to ask. Now, from there we go into low-priced programs, products, or services, right? So this is where the autoresponder or your email marketing funnel will come into play. Because when you set this up correctly, you will have, like I said, a series of pre-written emails that are determined to go out at certain times after someone registers on your list. So the first email would be immediately you're delivering whatever you promised, whatever they signed up for. The next email would come a couple days later, and it would say, hey, Jane Doe, did you get a chance to look at my XYZ free offer? Did you find that you received this type of result? Well, here's another tip or strategy that you could use that will get you even better results, right? So simple, clear language, nothing too long. We're still kind of getting to know each other, but we're giving her one more valuable piece of information. And that's where this is going to happen. And so you go through a series of 4 or 5 emails, and you start mentioning that you have this program. You start mentioning the benefits of your program. You start mentioning the success stories, not high pressure sales, and giving her a link to your sales page and allowing her the chance to kind of do her review, so that when you get to that last email, which is typically email number 5 or 6, when you actually do a full-on sales letter to sell your program, she's already had a chance to implement what you've suggested, take your valuable tips, check out your sales page, hear some success stories, right? She's gotten to see how you operate, how you speak, what the feel of your coaching style is. And she has a much better indication at that point, and probably a much higher chance of taking out her credit card and purchasing. Okay, so let's talk about some examples of what you could use for a low-priced product. Number 1, it could be an ebook, a simple ebook, an ebook with an audio or a video. So this is something you would sell that would likely be up to $97 value. You could do a mini one-on-one session with that person. You could do a workshop, right? You could do a continuity program or an email coaching course that's really kind of like the DIY, right? They're just on their own. They're not getting any training from you. Or maybe it's a paid webinar training, a pre-recorded training where you're teaching them something that will help them address their problem, their issues, their concerns. So those are just some examples of what you could pop into that low-priced category. So let's talk about medium. So medium, that's going to be the same thing, right? Once they go through your low-priced program, you're going to want to nurture them and start bringing them into the world of your medium-priced product. What you have to offer, how that's different, how that increases their knowledge, how that takes them to the next step in their healing. And that could be a home study course. It could be another group coaching program. Maybe it's got some time with you, some private calls with you. Another continuity program, again, has more access to you. As the price goes up, the access to you increases. It's not always about more information or piling on a bigger program. It's more access to you. People want to be able to ask you questions. When they want reassurance, they want support. And this is a great way to do it. And I'll tell you, one of the things that's so easy to do is to set up a private Facebook group. This is like one of the best things Facebook has available, because there's so many options when you're in that private Facebook group for you to support your clients and for you to provide documentation and forms and things to them. It's set up exactly like that and for that. And it's so wonderful because it's private. Only the members can see that information, and you have access to your people in a controlled environment. It's fantastic. And you don't have to get on the phone with them every single time they have a question, or you don't have to answer an individual email. It's all in one area. Oh, as the person that's running the program, it makes life so easy for you. Now, high-priced programs, again, think in terms of even more exposure to you. And that may look like a one-on-one private coaching program. Like maybe that's like the program IIN taught you, or whatever school you went to, or certification program you came from. They kind of give you like the big package, right? So that would be like one-on-one time with you, or a live coaching group where you're actually physically meeting. So in a group setting, but you're physically there, which is more intimate than even any coaching call online, right, that you can do online. Or a combination program where maybe part of it's private and part of it's group. So you can mix and match and do all kinds of different things Whatever works for you, and switch it up and get feedback. Every time you go through one of these programs, ask for feedback, ask for testimonials. See how you can go about improving what you've already done. Up-level it with technology, up-level your slides, up-level your handouts. As you get smarter and more educated, share that information with your clients. So this is the product sales funnel, right? This is how it all looks when it's all put together. And when creating your free offer, right, you must think about which low-priced program, product, or service you're gonna drive that new lead to after they subscribe to your list. Too many people get people on their list and then nothing happens. Or they're just getting bi-weekly newsletters. No one's ever talking about how to solve the problems that your ideal clients are experiencing. They're on your list for a reason. They've raised their hands. They've said, we want to hear what you have to say. They want you to tell them how they can do business with you. If they get off your list, then they were never meant to be your ideal client. But it takes sometimes that interaction for them to figure it out. And that's okay, because they would have never bought anything from you anyway. So don't be concerned when someone gets off your list. The people that are there are the people that want to hear how they can continue their relationship with you. So once you have that figured out, where you want to drive them to, then you create that email autoresponder series based on that. So you'll create those emails that's going to share those tips and those success stories and that valuable information depending on where you want to drive them. You're driving the train. Don't just let it be up to chance. Drive them in a direction. They want your help. That's why they came to you. But give it to them in little chunks. They can't have everything all at once or it's too much. Give it to them in bite-sized chunks. So let's talk about that email marketing funnel, which is also known as your autoresponder series. And we've talked a little bit about it, all right, so far. But just so you're clear, this is a series of pre-written emails that are delivered in a predetermined sequence with the intent of building trust and rapport with your new lead that will eventually result in that new lead purchasing a program, product, or service from you. So the intention is they are going to spend money with you. So what are you putting in those emails so that they understand what you're about? They understand what your program's about. The benefits are clear, what they will receive. A benefit of my program is not the Facebook group. That is a feature of my program. The benefit of the Facebook group is that you get to connect with like-minded people 24/7 and have access to me to ask your questions and to brainstorm. And you get to build camaraderie with the other people in the group. So the difference is, make sure you're talking about the benefit. What will they get out of it, not the feature itself. So that's a great example. When you think about that for your programs, think in terms of benefits, not features, when you're describing how you want them to purchase, why you want them to purchase, and what you can do for them. So if you look at this funnel, right, this is kind of like how the flow goes, right? So you have all these things, all these people, all this stuff flowing into the top, people visiting your website, you're promoting your free offers, right? Everything's coming into the top. And then you can see some of those people are falling out. It's cool. It's cool because they were never intended to be your ideal client anyway. And then you can see at the bottom the converted leads or customers. That means that they've actually spent money with you. Even if it's $27 or $37 or $47, right? They've spent money with you. And I will tell you, 110%, the people that have already spent money with you are a million times more likely to spend more money with you than getting a new lead. So if you think of that in terms, again, of the lifetime value of your customer, if you give them if you start out with like your big hand, you just lay it all out on the table, and even if they buy, where do they go from there? There's nowhere to go, right? But if you take them through this funnel, through this series of programs, then you're doing yourself a benefit and you're doing them a benefit all at the same time, right? So you just keep asking yourself, what do they need next? What do they need next? What do they need next? So now let me show you exactly how this looks in a diagram, how it works. So this is how your email marketing funnel works. So you start with an ad or an offer. So your free offer, you may just post it on your Facebook page or in the groups, or maybe you pay for advertising through Facebook or Twitter or something like that. However you're starting out with your offer, okay? Your free offer. And then the next thing that happens is you give them a call to action. You say to them, grab your copy now. Call to actions are like giving direction. Grab your copy now, download here, right? Get your seat now. Something that says, here's what you should do. Don't leave anything up to chance. Don't let them figure it out. Make it so simple for them. So you start with your free offer, then you let them know what is the next step. What do they have to do to get it? Okay, click here. Click here can be a call to action. And then that takes them to your lead capture page. So wherever your little box, right, whether it be a lead page or just something on your website that's capturing names and emails, wherever that box is living in cyberspace, you put the URL, that's called your lead capture page, and it has a place for them to put their name and their email address, right? They click submit. Now, they are registering their name and email, which grows your list. Now you have control. You never have control over social media. You don't have control over what anyone is doing there. But once they're on your list, you have access to them anytime you want, because you can send them an email anytime you want. And then from there, you start that autoresponder series that we talked about. Typically, this is 5 emails to start. So again, the first one, you deliver the free offer. Hey, Jane Doe, here's the link to that download I promised you. Be sure to grab it and implement today. I'll be in contact soon. I can't wait to hear what you've discovered or the results you've gotten, right? The next one's kind of like, hey, Jane Doe, did you get to try XYZ? Here's another tip that gets you going. And oh, by the way, I've had this success with my client who joined my program, XYZ Best Coaching Program or whatever it is. And then you just give her the link. No big sale, nothing. If she feels like clicking, she will. If she doesn't, no big deal. We're going to give her lots more chances. So the next email may be like a case study, right? Where you're talking about either research that's been done in your marketplace or your own case study that you've done with a client. And you talk about the success and how this happened. And so in there, you're addressing the common concerns or feelings or emotions or problems that your ideal clients experience. The next email will come, and maybe it's a Q&A email where you take the top 3 to 5 questions or concerns or things that are resistant in your clients to joining your programs, and you just address them. So you're addressing the questions or concerns before they're even asking them or before they're closing the door on purchasing your program. And then the last email will be a full-on sales email where you will tell them all the benefits to your program. You'll tell them why this is going to be a good fit for them, and then you give them the link. So that's the autoresponder series. Once they go through that, and while they're going through that, right, you're building trust and you're promoting. And then the last thing that happens is you convert that lead to a paying client. So that's how the funnel goes, and that's why it works so well. It's not high pressure, it's not high sales. It takes that, that pressure off from you to be a big salesperson. You can do all of this through an email autoresponder series. So let's get strategic here And let's talk about your profit path, okay? So here's what you want to do. You want to start by reverse engineering your products or offerings. So I talked about this. Remember, we start with the big thing, where we want them to end up, and then we break pieces out of that, we back it all the way down to our free offer, which is just a teeny tiny bite-sized chunk. And don't be afraid to give away your very best stuff, because this is your first impression. This is your first impression. We want them to get a good result and say what's next. And then what is the high price program, product, or service you're eventually going to promote? You want to keep that in mind. You want to know for sure what the low price program or product or service is that you want to promote, right? And how that relates directly to the high priced program. So you're constantly thinking about that alignment. You're constantly thinking about how they work together. And then what is the free offer that leads to the low price program, product, or service that you will promote in that autoresponder series. Okay, so what's the free offer that's going to lead to that? So each one of us, all of this process is going to be different, but once you map this out and you're clear how this works for your ideal client, how does this work? And you know the path or the journey you want to take them on. Oh my gosh, guys, that is so easy then to make more sales, because it's not disjointed, it's not disconnected. You are putting a system in place. Overall, this is a system, okay? Now, I know I've given you a ton of information. I've thrown it at you. We got started a little late, but I wanted you to have it because this is the thing that most people, most entrepreneurs, number one, they don't learn, they don't understand. And number two, that's what's causing all the overwhelm, because you're constantly saying, how do I sell my programs? What do I do next? Where should I focus? This is the answer. This is the answer, okay? So because I know I've given you a lot of information, I want to offer to you or invite you to join me actually in my Step Into More Profits program. That is a module that came directly from the program. It is a step-by-step program. And it is a place where you will be taken from A to B, okay? From A to B or A to Z, however you want to say it, in building out your whole business. From what website pages you should be focusing on, to how to create those autoresponders, how to create the right programs, how to build out these funnels, everything you need to know so that you can stop feeling stress and overwhelm and doing the circles and the craziness. And you can have a straight line that goes from A to B. You're going to get there quicker, which means you're going to make more money faster because you're not wasting time and you're not like confused about what to do next. So this is what I always tell my clients. To see success in marketing your business online, you must create a marketing plan with the foundation of that plan built on your business's unique strengths and your audience's biggest needs and pain points, and not be 100% reliant on social media to do that selling. That way you can easily adapt to any change that comes from social media and still be successful. That's what the Step Into More Profits program is all about. So I just quickly want to tell you guys what's included. Sherri's actually a graduate of the Step Into More Profits program. So this is a 6-month training, and it takes you through 26 weekly training videos. We're actually going to start on May 5th. And it's going to wrap up October 27th. Each video is about 30 minutes long, and you can expect to spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours a week implementing. So if you averaged it out 2 hours a week, you could expect to work on your business in this way. It's 100% online, so you can take it wherever you go. There's all the training guides, the blueprints, the cheat sheets, and the checklist that you need to be successful. No more confusion, no more overwhelm. I'm taking you through this process. And like I've said, there's a private and secure members only Facebook group where you get access to me and my team every single day. We're in there every day answering questions. And what happens at the end of this is you have a timeless marketing strategy. Like no social media change, nothing's gonna change how this works. And it's built into one online marketing plan designed to increase your leads and profits. So just quickly, this is gonna have a lot of information, but I'm gonna run through it pretty quick. The course curriculum, like I said, it's 6 months. So the first month we focus on your website. We need to make sure that that's got everything on it that it needs to have and that it's positioned correctly so that when your ideal client comes to your website, they know they are in the right place and that you can offer them a solution. So we talk about the 4 most important pages on the website, and we really focus heavily on your ideal client and their specific pain points. That information will carry you through the rest of this program. Everything is based on your ideal client. So it's not about us, guys. It's all about them. Month 2, we are going to talk about copywriting. So to be a marketer, you have to have a little bit of skill in copywriting. You have to know how to write in benefits and not features. And you need to understand how to position your marketing verbiage so that it's grabbing the attention of your ideal clients. Maybe some of you have experienced where you've put a post out there or you've put an ad somewhere and it's gotten zip response. It's not because your program isn't good. It's because the copywriting on your ad wasn't speaking to your ideal client's pain points. And we are going to cover how to do that. Month 3, I teach you how to create that irresistible client attracting free offer. I'm going to take you through a lot of options, but you will find the one that works best for you and the one that works best for your clients. And then I'm going to show you, actually demonstrate a lot of these trainings. I take you right into my computer screen and show you how to do it. None of it's theory. I take you right there and I show you how to design a registration page. And then we're going to wrap up month 3 by doing a lot more work of what I talked to you today about, a sales funnel that turns leads into paying clients. Month 4, you'll learn how to create a revenue generating email series. So we spent 2 full weeks on writing that autoresponder series, exactly what you need. And you can ask me all the questions you have so that you get it right. And we want to make sure that you're positioning yourself as an expert. And then month 5, I start teaching you how to use social media to get the word out, how to build your email list, how to increase your exposure with Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Instagram, all of them. You're going to learn how to do that. And then the last month, we're going to dive a little bit more into the other platforms. And I want you to end this series, this 6-month program, with that full-on marketing program in automation mode, that when you attract a new lead, they're going to go through the funnel and you're going to make sales, even when you're sleeping. So that is really the whole program, the 6 months. And if you are interested in checking out the details, you can go to KarenPattock.com/Sherri, SHERRI, and you can check it out. So again, it's 26 weekly trainings, 100% online, training guides, blueprints, cheat sheets, checklists. You are a member of that private only or private members Facebook group, and you are going to get a timeless marketing plan. So truthfully, you can try to figure this all out on your own. And like I said, it was in the beginning, I did that and it was slow. I was taking bits and pieces and trying to figure out how to put the puzzle pieces together. And it wasn't until I invested in a coach that showed me how to do it that I finally went, oh my gosh, this has saved me so much time. And then my profits started to skyrocket, and I understood the missing link. And really worse, you could hire someone to do this for you, but then you don't understand it. You're not really the one that's speaking your ideal client's language. And truthfully, someone that really knows what they're doing would be extremely expensive. So the total value of the STEP program, the way I've just described it to you, is almost $5,000. But you can actually join today for $497 or 3 installments of $187. So again, you can get all the details at karenpattock.com/Sherri. And I have never done this before, but I've actually added a VIP level. And guys, what this means for you is you get all that great stuff that I just talked to you about, plus you get weekly calls with me. So this is limited to 15 people. You get weekly calls with me that you can ask me anything. You can send me your documents and I'll review them and we'll talk about them on the call. It's like really great because you get so much private time with me. And then to boot, when you finally have your plan all together, you can send it to me and I'm going to personally review your entire marketing plan. I've never done this before. I've never offered this to anyone before. And it's only to the 15 people that sign up for the VIP membership in this group, in the STEP group. And that value is really almost $7,000. But again, you can join today and your investment is $997 or 3 installments of $397. So just as a reminder, the program starts May 5th, runs through October 27th. You get 1 module each week. And you can join by going to karenpattock.com/Sherri. So I want to answer all your questions, but we're going to get things done in this. Like no more slacking, no more overwhelm, no more confusion. We're going to get clarity on your ideal client. We're going to create your free giveaway. We're going to get your lead capture page up. And we're going to get you in a position where you have a unique marketing plan. And then the secret sauce that I love is the magic behind everything, the autoresponder series that's doing the work for you. So you're attracting more fans and followers, you're converting those fans and followers to email subscribers, and you're turning those email subscribers into paying clients and growing your list while increasing your revenue. Now, I just want to tell you about a couple quick bonuses, and then we're going to move into the Q&A. So if you do a pay in full, you do have access to my Harness the Power of Facebook Marketing program, which teaches you how to turn your Facebook business page into a lead generation machine. Facebook gives us all these great free marketing tools that people do not use regularly. They don't set them up. And I seriously add between 15 and 25 people a day to my list because I just have these things in place and they're absolutely free and they're available to all of us, So if you go right now, this is what you're gonna see. This is the top of the page. Got a little video there for you. I want you to scroll down and look for this grid where you'll see that there are 2 different levels, the 2 levels I've explained, and it will help you make a decision on which level is right for you. And then you'll just find either the group study program or the VIP program, and you will click the register now button. It'll take you to the payment page, and then you'll immediately receive an email telling you how to get started. You're gonna have a video from me, and I'm gonna get you started today. We're gonna start working on your business today. And of course, as always, I offer a 100% money-back guarantee for 30 days. If you try it and you're not interested, then, or it's not a good fit for you, let me know. No questions asked. I'll refund your money. So you guys have no risk. You can give it a try. And then lastly, if you take action today while we are on this call, while we're still on the call, if I have any registrations with Sherri, then you are also going to get my Webinar Profits Now program. This was a 5-week program. This is an intensive program on how to do webinars, how to create webinars, how to market them, how to fill your event, and how to actually do the webinar. So present the webinar. I do a demonstration for you. So I take all the guesswork out of it, all the guesswork. That's if you register while we're on this call today. This program is a $497 program, and I wanted to give Sherri's people a special opportunity. So that's what we're doing today if you register while you're on this call, either level. So, okay, Sherri, I think if you want, we can go to a Q&A, and I'm happy to answer anyone's questions either about the material that we covered today or the program, either one. Oh, I think you're still muted.
I am. Okay.
There you go.
So, yeah, I want to, do you want to leave the screen up or do you need to?
Yeah, just so they have the, if that's okay with you, so they have the link there at the bottom.
That's fine. Okay. So, but I think you might have to move it up. Is that possible? Well, they can see it. And anyway, I put it, it is in the chat also.
Okay.
Clickable link. So, well, thank you, Karen. That
You're
was
welcome.
always incredible. The one reason, and you know this, and everyone knows this, that I have diligently followed you is because you give a lot of content for the amount of money. There really, really is no fluff. So, I did see in the chat early on when you first started presenting a question, what if no one was responding to any of their emails or I don't know if you want to, let me see, I can unmute, I'll unmute. I think you can unmute yourself too, by the way, on the bottom left. Maybe she left though. Okay. So, well, that was a question, but I think you kind of answered it by saying that if you start first with benefits, you know, as you're promoting, I think that is why people may not be responding. Yes? Let me see if I unmute all, if we get feedback. Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, if you you can mute yourself if you know you have feedback. Okay, so I want to be quiet for a minute, which is always so hard for me to do, and let people ask their questions if anyone has one. But I also laughed. You couldn't see me, but I laughed when I saw the A to B with like the swirly way.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. I knew you'd like that.
I always laughed. I said it's sort of like that. What's that cartoon, Family Circus or Family Circle? The kid getting home from school, you know, over the slide and around the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So having a direct course makes this work a lot more doable, because I know that everyone who's on the call is really a heart-centered person, and that's how they want to get their work out there. They really have a mission, and you want to present to the world, and you want to make a difference. And so it gets tricky on how to have that balance between marketing and staying true to your heart self. So this takes all of the selling really out of it. If you just are, it's just teaching you how to use the correct verbiage and then that back end stuff. If we don't know it, we're not getting anywhere. Really, you're just working for nothing. So that doesn't strike any chords, does it? So anybody have any questions? And then I have a question.
Karen, I'd like to ask you a question about the autoresponder series.
Yep.
This is Pamela. You can't see me, but I'm here. What kind of space in between when you first start sending them out, after you send them your offer and you're trying to establish a relationship with them, how much time do you put in between each of these emails? Because I know personally, if I subscribe to a list and I get something every day, I go annoying and I delete. And I don't want to be annoying because I want to build a relationship. So what kind of space do you suggest to prevent that annoyance from going on?
Okay, so between email number 1 and email number 2, 2 days. Between email number 2 and email number 3, 3 days. Between email number 3 and email number 4, 2 days. And between 4 and 5, 2 days.
Okay.
And here's the thing, Pamela. If your free offer, whatever you gave them, actually made an impact, it had some type of beneficial response in whatever way, shape, or form, they found value in it, okay? Mm-hmm. They are going to be waiting to hear from you. Because in that very first email, you're going to say, you're going to let them know, you're setting the stage, I'm going to be checking in on you in a couple of days, and I want to hear all about XYZ, okay? So you're already setting the stage and you're letting them know that this is coming. So I don't know what email list you've been on, but as long as it's not high pressure and it's coming from the place of giving valuable tips and valuable information, people are much more receptive. And you will get people that will unsubscribe. It's guaranteed. But those are not your ideal clients because they've already made the decision that what you're offering isn't the answer to their problem. But there's enough people out there that need you that's okay. Let them go find someone and you focus on the people that truly need you. And the autoresponder series does really work as a weeding out process as well, for sure.
After you go through those first 5, how long do you wait before you, I mean, is that the end? And obviously you don't contact them again with another series right away, do you?
No, at that point they should be put into basically what's called your general email list. Mm-hmm. And if you're following what I teach, then you would, at a minimum, every other week, be sending out some type of blog post or newsletter or some type of contact with them where you're giving them valuable information. I personally prefer once a week, but I know some people struggle with that in the beginning. So no more than 2 weeks, because let's face it, if they're looking for a solution or valuable information, if you're waiting more than 2 weeks, they're going to go looking somewhere else.
Right. Right.
Can I ask you also on that same subject, when you said about the last email being more of a sales link, but the first 4 in that series, do they have a link? They have a link, but you're just not trying to sell them.
Right. You're not like going over the top hardcore sales. You're just saying kind of in passing, like you would a friend, like, oh, hey, I do have this available if it's of interest to you, right? And you give them some type of maybe small testimonial or some type of, great results someone has received from working with you. You just kind of throw it out there. So it's kind of like, oh, if they feel like it, then they're going to click on it. If they want to know more, they're going to click on it.
Thank you. Pam, do you have more?
I just have one more question. What tips can you give us to write emails that get opened?
That is all part of the copywriting series that I talked to you about. Really, I gave you the general, and I know Sherri's recording this, so I know I covered it fast. She'll be able to give you the recording. But number one, biggest thing you need to do to get your email opened is write an amazing subject line to that email. And I always start my emails with some type of personal conversation. So you don't go like hammering in right away with whatever it is you're going to cover. You kind of just maybe talk about your day or the season or, the meal you cooked last night, the new recipe you tried, something. And then you kind of go into whatever content it is that you want to cover. But typically, unless you get to like the last couple of emails, which are like the Q&A and the sales email, which may go over, I'm talking between like 300, 500 word emails, not that long, pretty short and sweet, actually.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
I remember, maybe this came right out of the program, and I think it did, but I think you had mentioned at one point that you can even like look at headlines. You know, you're standing in the grocery line, or if I get writer's block, sometimes I'll just like Google my topic to see what the kind of headlines are popular that people.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And then truthfully, I have a swipe file that I keep. So when I get emails from people that I'm on their list, and if it has a subject line that I'm thinking, holy cow, like I need to see what's in this email, what are they talking about? I save that so that I can use that or a model thereof of it in my own emails down the road.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because I think for the longest time when I was starting out, I used to feel like that was really infringing on people's turf, or like I was plagiarizing. But I've come to realize, maybe from you and some other people, I believe that that's pretty common practice, because you're
sure.
changing out the words, but you're really kind of using them as a template so you can write your material. I think it helps to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So some of the things you mentioned, IIN, and I think that the biggest benefit of doing this program, at least it was for me, well, there was two huge benefits, but one is sort of the deprogramming, because when you go to IIN, you're so programmed into that 6-month program mentality.
Right.
You know, we're really trained, and I'm a kind of follow the by the book person. So everywhere I went, I'm asking to do a health history to people. Like you said, that's like asking someone to get married. They're not ready for that.
Right.
So it really was like a whole process for me to reverse engineer. It's hard. It's hard to reprogram your brain. And the second thing that I think was amazing about this was your Facebook group. Really and truly, like, I will be the testimonial to say you were there every day, all day long. Any question someone asked, there was an answer by the end of the day.
Yeah.
That was worth it just for that. It's like private coaching just through the Facebook group. So.
Yep. Definitely.
And I'm going to be quiet in 1 second. My last question is, some of us on here have already done the program, but you had some amazing bonuses. So my question is, what could we do? Is there anything we could do to get those, or is it, you have them as standalones, or how does that work?
Yeah, they're both standalone products. Yes. I mean, I can send you a link if you'd want that you can send out with the recording.
Okay, because I know there's a couple of us on here who already have done the program, and that's another beauty of it. Once you've done the program, and I literally do use it. I have everything in a binder, and I've written out my little index, and I was telling Karen before you guys got here, if I don't remember how to do something, which happens a lot, you know, lead pages or something, I go back to my resource little book from Karen, and I watch the video that she sent that week, and I then know how to do it. So that is invaluable for me. I need to have that coaching all the time. So thank you again.
Yeah, I just made myself a note. So, okay.
Any other questions? So I don't know if I'm going to stop the recording. I think we've covered the waterfront, as my grandmother would say.